Let's talk about happiness, but not in a fluffy, abstract way. Today, we're digging into how you can literally, physically reshape your brain to experience more joy, even when life feels like it's throwing everything at you. And to really get it, let's start with a scene I'm pretty sure you'll recognize. So picture this. You're somewhere beautiful, maybe a perfect sunset. People you love are laughing nearby. All the pieces for a perfect memory are right there. But instead of soaking it all in, your mind is a million miles away, stuck on a work deadline or that endless to-do list. If that sounds familiar, yeah, you are definitely not alone. It's a classic sign that our brains have gotten a little too good at being stressed, and maybe have forgotten how to just be joyful.
And that right there, that's the heart of what we're talking about today. This isn't just about being in a bad mood. It's an actual neurological pattern. See, chronic stress can carve pathways in our brain that literally bypass the circuits for positive emotions. But here's the amazing news. What can be wired can absolutely be rewired. So how did this wiring get so tangled in the first place?
All right, so what is actually going on up there in our heads? Well, it turns out there's this fascinating, ancient battle happening between our survival instincts and our modern desire to just feel good.
Okay, think of it like this. You've got the amygdala. It's your brain's super sensitive hair trigger alarm system. It's brilliant at spotting danger, like a lion in the grass. Then you've got the prefrontal cortex, which is like the calm, cool, and collected CEO that makes rational decisions. Well, when we're constantly stressed, a flood of stress hormones basically shouts at the CEO to go on a long lunch break and puts the panicky alarm system in charge of everything. And the result? We end up reacting to a late email with the same fight-or-flight panic our ancestors used to escape that lion.
And this is the really crucial part. Stress becomes a habit. As health psychologist Dr. Kelly McGonigal points out, it creates this vicious feedback loop. The more you feel stressed, the stronger those neural stress pathways get, which then makes it even easier to feel stressed out tomorrow. It just keeps feeding itself. But if your brain is good enough to learn a bad habit, it's for sure good enough to learn a new, better one.
And that brings us to the most hopeful, honestly, the most exciting part of this whole story. Our brains are not these fixed, rigid things we're stuck with. Nope, they have this incredible built-in superpower for change.
And that superpower has a name, neuroplasticity. It's just the scientific way of saying that your brain can literally reorganize itself based on what you do, what you think, and what you focus on. And this isn't something that just happens when you're a kid. This is happening right now, and it happens for your entire life.
I love this way of thinking about it. Your brain isn't like delicate porcelain, permanently fixed and easy to shatter. It's so much more like Play-Doh. It's malleable, you can squish it, roll it out, and actively reshape it. Every single time you focus your attention on something, you are physically changing the landscape of your brain. Isn't that just incredibly empowering when you really think about it?
Neuropsychologist Dr. Rick Hansen says it perfectly. The thoughts that you let flow through your mind day after day, those are the sculptor's tools. You can literally use your own mind to build a different brain, one that's more resilient, calmer, and quicker to find joy. So the big question is, how do we actually pick up those tools and start sculpting?
All right, let's get practical. Let's roll up our sleeves. We're going to walk through 7 science-backed, totally doable techniques you can use to start reshaping your brain for happiness, like right now.
First up, mindfulness. But hold on, let's reframe what that even means. This isn't just about being calm and passive. Think of it more like an active workout. It's the mental gym where you go to strengthen your happiness muscles.
Every time you sit down, even for just a couple of minutes, and you notice your mind has wandered off, and you gently bring it back to your breath, that's like doing a bicep curl for your prefrontal cortex, your brain's CEO. And this isn't just a nice idea, there's hard science here. A major Harvard study found that just 8 weeks of this practice led to measurable changes in the brain, literally shrinking the fear center and beefing up the areas for focus and empathy.
Okay, number 2, a gratitude practice. Our brains kind of have this built-in default setting. It's called a negativity bias. We're hardwired to scan our environment for threats and problems. Well, gratitude is the direct counter-program to that. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses that trains your brain to start noticing all the good stuff that's already there.
And let's be clear, this is not about toxic positivity or ignoring your problems. It's about expanding your field of vision so you see the whole picture. Research from UC Davis discovered that people who regularly practice gratitude didn't just feel better emotionally, they had fewer aches and pains and even worked out more. All it takes is jotting down 3 specific things you're grateful for before you go to sleep. It can actually start to rewire that default focus.
Next up, number 3, get moving. We all know exercise gives us endorphins, right? But it goes so much deeper. Physical activity actually boosts this amazing protein called BDNF, which is basically like fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps you grow new neurons and strengthens the connections between them, literally building a healthier, happier brain from the inside out. And hey, a dance party in your kitchen, that absolutely counts.
Number 4 is huge: social connection. We are, at our core, profoundly social animals. Meaningful time with people we care about floods our brains with oxytocin, that's the bonding hormone, and it directly pushes back against the stress hormone, cortisol. It is, quite literally, our brain's own natural antidepressant.
And if you need proof, just look at this. An incredible 80-year-long study at Harvard followed people for their entire adult lives. They found the single greatest predictor of their long-term happiness and health wasn't money, it wasn't fame, it wasn't career success, it was the quality of their relationships. Let that just sink in for a second. 80 years of data, all pointing to the same thing. Connection is what matters most.
Okay, number 5 is so important in the world we live in today: cleaning up your information diet. Our brains were just not built for this constant fire hose of breaking news, notifications, and social media updates. All that input keeps our amygdala, that alarm system, stuck in the on position, and that leaves almost zero room for peace or joy. Just setting aside some tech-free time each day can make a massive difference.
And then there's sleep. And please do not think of sleep as a luxury. It is a non-negotiable, critical function for your brain. While you're sleeping, your brain is like a busy night crew, processing emotions, filing away positive memories, and literally washing away metabolic junk. Skimping on sleep is like trying to run your emotional life on an almost dead battery. It just doesn't work.
And just look at this data from UC Berkeley. Researchers found that after just one single night of poor sleep, anxiety levels can spike by 30%. 30%! That is just a huge, immediate impact. Making a consistent sleep routine a real priority is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental health.
And finally, number 7, finding your flow state. You know that magical feeling when you're so completely absorbed in an activity that time just seems to disappear? That's flow. It could be painting, playing an instrument, coding, gardening, whatever it is for you. When you're in that state, the part of your brain that houses your inner critic and all your worried thoughts actually goes quiet. It's like a mini vacation for your anxious mind.
Okay, so we've got the science, we've got the 7 key techniques. Now what? How do we actually take all this great information and turn it into real, lasting change?
Here's a really simple, really powerful way to begin. Think of it as a 7-day brain rewiring challenge. Don't try to do everything at once. Just focus on one of these techniques each day. One small, intentional action. Monday, you try a few minutes of mindfulness. Tuesday, you jot down what you're grateful for, and so on. It's not about some massive life overhaul. It's about small, consistent steps that, trust me, add up to huge changes over time.
Because when it comes right down to it, the core message is this: your brain isn't just passively watching your life go by. It is actively changing, every single second, based on what you pay attention to. You're always practicing something. So the only real question is, what are you going to practice? Worry or wonder? Stress or joy? That power to choose is and always has been yours.